It is the center of the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror.
Yeah, it is the center of reflecting surface. Then Naveen, tell me what is C and capital letter F. What is the meaning of C and F?
Don't know.
Okay, fine. Risha, tell me what is C and F.
I don't know.
Okay, Sania.
C is for curvature and F is for focal length.
Yeah, C is for curvature and F is for focal length. And here I have written not small letter F. Here I have written capital letter F. Is capital letter F for focal length? Sania, yes or no? Is capital letter F for focal length?
Yes.
No. Capital letter F is not focal length. It is what? It is focus. It is focus. Whereas small letter F is focal length. Small letter F is focal length. What is the difference between two? Focus is nothing but if this is a concave mirror. Focus is what? The midpoint between C and P. Here you have P. Here you have center of curvature. That is center of that sphere. In the midpoint you have capital letter F. Focus is just a point on the principal axis situated at the midpoint, exact midpoint. Whereas what is focal length? Focal length is this distance between focus and pole. Understand the difference. Focus is just a point, whereas focal length is a distance between pole and focus of a mirror. Now we know what is radius of curvature and focal length. Yes or no? So tell me what you mean by radius of curvature.
It is the radius of the sphere of the spherical mirror.
Yeah, it is the radius of that sphere. So if we consider a spherical mirror to be part of a sphere, the sphere will have a radius, and that radius is what we call radius of curvature. And focal length, we know it is at the midpoint or the half distance of this radius of curvature. So we have an equation that is radius of curvature of a spherical mirror is twice that of focal length. Problems can come with regard to this equation. So please by heart, radius of curvature is equal to twice that of focal length. Or if I write it in opposite ways, what it will be? What is focal length? Focal length will be R divided by 2. Or in words, I can say focal length is half of that of radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is twice focal length, whereas focal length is half of radius of curvature. That is the idea. Now moving on, today's topic is image formation by spherical mirrors. That means particularly we'll focus on ray diagrams. To draw any type of ray diagram, there are different types of rays. So let us understand what are the different types of rays. Now first one is rays which are parallel to principal axis. Anvesha, tell me what you mean by principal axis.
The line passing through the pole and the center of the curvature of a spherical mirror.
It is a straight line passing through center of curvature and pole of a spherical mirror. So that is a straight line. Now rays parallel to principal axis means it can be on the top or bottom anywhere. So these are the first type of rays that we'll focus on. Now we have to consider a concave and convex mirror. Alina, tell me, I'm named it as this one as A, B. Alina, tell me which is a concave mirror.
A.
Yeah, A is a concave mirror. So I have kept a concave mirror on the left side and convex mirror on the right side. Fine. So ray parallel to principal axis means you have to draw a ray in this fashion. And whenever you draw a ray, immediately you have to mark the what? Arrow. Arrow signifies the direction of the ray. So both the rays strikes the reflecting surface of the corresponding mirrors. Now can you guess what will happen to this ray? If any ray which is parallel to the principal axis, the fate of all these types of rays is the same. It will pass through the focus. And here you can see the focus is what? Lying in front of the mirror for concave mirror. Whereas for convex mirror, the focus is lying behind the mirror. Focus is lying behind the mirror. So here, what will happen? We know convex mirror is a diverging mirror. So here, striking there, the rays will diverge with respect to the focus. Get it clear? First type of rays are rays parallel to principal axis. On a concave mirror, the rays will strike and pass through the focus. Whereas on a convex mirror, the rays will strike and they will diverge with respect to the focus. That means these reflected rays appear to come from the focus. That is the idea. Now, here also answer this question. Is the law of reflection applicable here? We know there are laws of reflection. Is the laws of reflection applicable in these two diagrams? Yes or no? Answer it first. Yeah, Gayatri, state the laws of reflection.
Laws of reflection, it consists of incident ray, which is a ray of light.
I only want the statement of two laws. First law, second law. Here I have already written the first law. I is equal to R. What is the meaning? What is I? What is angle I? What is angle R?
Angle I is angle of incident. Angle R is angle of reflection.
Okay, fine. Then how will you tell the law? First law states that angle of incidence is first
Equal
law.
to angle of reflection.
Okay, then Gina Moni
Angle
tell
of-
the second law. Yeah, Gina Moni respond fast. State second law of reflection.
Perpendicular line.
Which perpendicular line? Three things. Which are the three things? Dash, dash, and dash. All lie in dash.
P.
Array, what is the name? Dash, ray, dash, ray, dash, ray, all lie in the same dash. Again, yesterday onwards, if you are not thorough with the previous portion, I am again repeating, you don't need to take part in this live class because here there is no use. You will be wasting your time. In the last class, I have already explained all these things. If you have doubts, you should ask. Just for the answer it first. What is state second law of reflection? Just for the state second law of reflection.
The angle of reflection and the angle of incidence and the normal are in the same plane.
Wrong, wrong, wrong. Is it angle of incidence? No.
Incident ray and
Yeah, it is
incident ray,
incident ray,
reflection ray.
reflected ray, incident ray, reflected ray, and normal lie in the same line. That is the law, not angle of incidence. Incident ray, reflected ray, and normal all lie in the same line. So these are the two laws of reflection. Others also, next day again I will ask this question, try to answer it. So question was, is the laws of reflection applicable here? Here also these laws of reflection are applicable. For example, if you consider this case, that is for a concave mirror. Here, any circle, any circle, it have a center. And if you draw any line from the center passing through any of the point of the circle, this always will be perpendicular. That means if you draw a line passing through any surface of the circle, this line will always be perpendicular to that line. So I can say any line passing through the center can be considered as what? As the normal. So normal in plane mirror, we told normal is what? A line perpendicular to the reflecting surface. But in case of spherical mirror, to construct a normal, we will consider a line passing through what? The center of curvature. So wherever you have spherical mirror, you have to know center of curvature. And if you pass a straight line passing through center of curvature, that will be your normal ray. Clear? And once you have the normal ray, we can easily find what? Angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Why? Because angle of incidence is the angle between normal and incident ray. Keeping that in mind, here I have drawn a straight line like this. So this is a straight line. This will be your normal. And this is our incident ray. This is your reflected ray. So how can we find angle of incidence here? Here this angle, that is between incident ray and the normal, will be angle of incidence. And similarly, this angle will be angle of reflection. If you measure it out, angle I will be equal to angle R. Conclusion is, laws of reflection are also applicable in case of concave mirror. Now coming to convex mirror, it is again same. Here also I have considered a line passing through the center of curvature. That means it is what? It is nothing but the normal. And once you have the normal, you can mark angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So if anyone have doubts regarding how to find reflected ray, incident ray, or measure angle of incidence in case of concave or convex mirror, the thing is that any line you draw passing through center of curvature will be representing the normal. And once you construct the normal, it is easier to find angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So this is the first type of ray. I hope you have got it. Now we are moving to the second type of ray. Second type of ray is exact opposite. So first type of ray is what? Ray parallel to principal axis. And what happened to that ray? It passed through the focus. It passed through the focus. Do one thing, take out to your notebooks and start noting it down. Give the heading, image formation by spherical mirrors, right type of rays. Write it fast, write it fast. Otherwise, tomorrow also you will say don't know, don't know, don't know. Start writing image formation by spherical mirrors. Give the subheading types of rays. Write first type of ray, ray parallel to principal axis. If you are written till that this much, tell me over. Write it fast. Give the heading image formation by spherical mirrors. Subheading types of rays. Below that, first type of ray, that is ray parallel to principal axis. Written till there. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Those are written. Below draw concave and convex mirror. And whenever you draw it, remember to silver one of the side. Silver it fast. Then draw the principal axis. Mark the focus, center of curvature, pole. Then draw the first type of ray. First type of ray is parallel to principal axis. In concave mirror, it will pass through the focus. It will pass through the focus. For convex mirror, it will diverge with respect to the focus. It will diverge with respect to the focus. And any ray you draw behind the mirror, it should be in dotted line. Any ray you draw behind the mirror, it should be in dotted line. Do it fast, do it fast. If you're completed, you can tell yes. And don't forget about the arrows. Here I have not ignored the arrows. Arrows are very important. Parallel rays going towards the mirror, then reflected. Parallel rays going towards the mirror, reflected. Draw the arrows. And those who want can mark what? Angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Those who want can mark angle of incidence, angle of reflection in both the diagram. Completed?
No, sir.
Then make it fast. Completed?
Not yet, sir.
Right? Make it fast, draw it fast. Why are you taking so long? Those who have drawn the diagram below, right? What happens to the ray? It will pass through focus. Pass through focus. Whereas in case of convex mirror, what will happen to this ray? It will diverge with respect to the focus. With respect to focus. Or it may appear to come from the focus. That is the idea. Appear to diverge from the focus. Below, write down these two statements. Completed?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Second type of ray is exact opposite of the first ray. That is a ray passing through focus. A ray which is passing through focus. So now we have focus here, and this is a ray which will pass through focus. And for convex mirror, it cannot pass through focus. Why? Because its focus lies behind the mirror. So in case of convex mirror, we should direct this ray towards focus. So you should write ray coming through focus or which is coming towards focus. That is towards focus for convex mirror. Why? Because in convex mirror, the focus lies behind the mirror. Got that idea? Second type of ray coming through focus or directed towards the focus. Here I have drawn two rays which is going through the focus. Now what will happen to this ray? Exact opposite of the first case. It will reflect parallel. It will reflect parallel. Now for convex mirror also, here you can see two rays which are directed towards focus. This is the focus. And dotted lines as it is behind the mirror. Now what will happen here? Here also it will reflect parallel. Draw it fast. This is the second type of ray. And below write what happens to the two cases. The two rays will get reflected parallel, or I can say parallel to principal axis. Reflected parallel to principal axis. Written?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we have two rays. First ray which is parallel, it will pass through focus, and second ray, it is the exact opposite, which is directed towards focus or passing through focus. It will emerge parallel. Now we are moving to the third type of ray. Third type of ray is coming through center of curvature or directed to center of curvature. So last one was with respect to focus, but here we'll pass the ray through center of curvature. Center of curvature. Or here in case we will direct it towards the center of curvature. So write it first. Now can you guess what will happen to this ray? I've already told. For if I consider sphere, if you pass any line through center of curvature, the center of curvature represents what? Normal. And in last class we have discussed about normal incidence. Last class we have discussed about normal incidence. What is the specialty of normal incidence? In normal incidence, what will occur? So in both the cases here, the ray will go like this. What will happen?
It will again pass through the center of curvature.
Yeah, it will again pass through the center of curvature, or I can say it will retrace its path. So you can give a backward arrow, a forward arrow and backward arrow. That means here it will retrace its path. It will retrace its path. Write it down. So in the third type of ray is the most simple type. Why? Because we just need to draw one ray. One ray passing through center of curvature. What will happen to that ray? It will retrace. And here again, for convex, note out, you cannot pass it through center of curvature. You can only direct the ray towards center of curvature. Why? Because here also the center of curvature lies behind the mirror. You cannot see it. So you can just point it in the direction of center of curvature. Completed? Write down what will happen to the ray. Below it, write down what will happen to the ray at this point. It will retrace its path. Completed? Completed?
Yeah.
Others also write it fast. Completed fast. Now if completed, we will move to the last type of ray. That is fourth type of ray. Again, it is very simple. A ray which is incident obliquely. Now here itself understand what you mean by oblique ray. Oblique ray means an inclined ray. Inclined ray. Now, inclined means what? Making an angle, Now we say this oblique ray with respect to pole. So if this is the pole, if any ray makes an angle with the pole, then this type of ray we call it as inclined ray or oblique ray. So again, I'm repeating, oblique ray means a ray with an inclination. Inclination with respect to what? With the pole. That is the idea. So in both cases, we'll have an oblique ray. And once you have the oblique ray, right away you can mark what? This is the angle. So here, this will be angle of incidence. Here also, this will be angle of incidence. And you can mark the direction of the ray. Now, how is this the angle of incidence? Because here you have a line passing through what? Center of curvature. And that will be your normal. Now, we know that laws of reflection, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. If I apply that here, you will get the reflected ray passing like this. So, reflected ray will pass like this. And you can mark angle of reflection also. Completed. So what will happen to an incident oblique ray? It will reflect obliquely. Completed? Yes or no? Four
Yes,
types.
sir.
Yeah. So recollect, very, very important, 4 types of rays. First ray, parallel to principal axis, it will pass through the focus or appear to diverge from the focus. Second ray, passing through focus, it will emerge parallel. Third ray, which is passing through center of curvature, it will retrace its path. Fourth ray, it is incident obliquely. Oblique means making an angle with the pole, and it will emerge obliquely. So once you are thorough with these 4 types of ray, we can study image formation. So next is our ray diagram. First ray diagram for concave mirror. Now a ray diagram, we have different positions to study. First one is we have an object and I will place the object at what? At infinity. So first case, I will place the object at infinity, then you can place just beyond C. So this is center of curvature. You can place the object just far from C. First case, it is infinity. Infinity means very far from what? The mirror itself. Second case, you will bring it a bit closer. You place the object beyond C. Third case, you place the object at C itself, exactly at the C. Next case, you will place the object between C and F, then at F, and finally between F and B. So these are the different positions we have to study. Clear? Now we have to see each cases separately. General things before drawing the ray diagram. As I told, whenever you draw an object, we'll draw an upright arrow. This represents the object. And for the image, we will always use what? Dotted lines. And whenever you draw the object, immediately name it as AB. Image, you would have to name it as A dash, B dash. This is the convention that we follow. Object AB, A dash, B dash. Now, this also I have told in the previous class. How many rays should we draw from each object? We should only draw 2 rays. And how many rays we know to draw? We now know 4 rays to draw. We can draw 4 number of rays, but for this purpose, I only need 2. So out of this 4 rays, it is your choice to select what? Which are the 2 rays that you want. Now, once you draw any 2 rays, what will happen? They will reflect. And after reflection, these 2 rays will meet at a point. And if 2 rays meet at a point, you will get what? Image. You will get the image. This is the general principle. Now, one more thing. When you draw, normally at infinity, the object will be large. Beyond C also, you can draw comparatively large image. But as the object is getting closer and closer to the mirror, you should reduce the size of the object. Why? Because then only you will get the corresponding image in the same pitch. So in essence, when you draw, you have to keep in mind, as you get closer to the mirror, reduce the size of your object. Suppose if I draw a large object here, you will be getting the image very far. Very far means it will be difficult for you to contain in your paper. Now keep this thing in mind. When you bring the object closer and closer to the mirror, you should reduce its size. I mean height. So these are the general things that you need to keep in mind. Yeah, I guess we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll be covering what? Image formation by concave mirror again. And tomorrow onwards, be thorough with the previous portion. I will ask questions. If you are not able to answer, again, I'm telling, don't need to participate. So today we'll stop the class here. Thank you.